Right now, supporting Newcastle at the moment might be an absolute joy. Eddie Howe's absolutely class mags are giving us wins, Champions League football and cup finals. But, and there is a couple of buts, the ticketing system has changed for Newcastle fans. Some people are profiting from it and are going to way more matches than they could have ever dreamt of, but some are feeling a little bit hard done by the system. I'm going to be speaking to someone on this video who has been directly affected in a negative way by the changes by the club with the ticketing system and being able to get to home and away matches. If you're curious, Newcastle fans, do us a favour and make sure you stick around.
We've got our club back. Yeah, we've definitely got our club back.
So it's interesting you use that statement that we've all used. We've got our club back. That's what we've always dreamt of. But do you and thousands of other members who are being shat on in this system, because now you're struggling to get a ticket in this random lottery of a ballot, do you feel like you've lost a bit that you had, dare I even say, before the owners, when you were able to get tickets in a more structured system and you were going every time you came home?
Yeah, we do feel a bit lost on it.
Welcome back to Black and White Banter, you lovely Newcastle fans. I hope everybody is surviving the international break as best as possible. I've read a million books, I've done a million jigsaws, and regardless of how well timed it was for us with injuries, I just cannot wait for Eddie Howe's mags to be back on the TV. I don't even know who England are playing. If someone in the comments can let me know who the second friendly or Euro game is against later in the week, I'd love to know. Well, I wouldn't love to know because I probably won't be watching it. Literally, these international breaks, there's been so many more than normal. We've already qualified. Let's just keep the football going. But, having said that, we do need it. We do need players back because that medical room in our training ground is looking like the Newcastle RVI. But, before I get into the topic of today's video, Newcastle fans, do us a favour. Give us a little likey Lou. Whack that subscribe button. I am continuing to put some videos together during this break. Not too much to talk about, apart from how the hell are we going to get through such a big injury crisis. But there is one debate on this video, that's been ongoing for a while, and I think it's going to continue to. So whack that like, whack that subscribe. And I'm about to speak to someone who I've known a lot of years. I'm very lucky on this ticket conversation. As I mentioned at the start of this video, the basis of this is going to be how so many fans are being negatively affected. And it's all well and good. Things are, when things are going wonderfully for us. Cup finals, Champions League football, competing with the best, spending money, going in a positive direction. But for some, it's bittersweet because the ticketing system has changed since the new ownership has come in. They have their reasons for changing it. And for some people who've never been able to get to a Newcastle match, or more importantly, I think for our ownership, have just started supporting the club, they're able to get the games. And our fan base is grown because of that, which I understand, as everybody does, that's how you grow a football club, revenue-wise. But some fans are being left a little bit behind and being shat on, pardon the French, by the new ticketing system. And someone who I know very well has got his side of things, because I'm a season ticket holder. It's all well and good me saying I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, but it doesn't affect me directly. So I would rather get someone on this video who it does affect directly. So let's get straight into this. Right, I am happily joined by Alan. Alan is a family neighbour of mine, better known from my side from coming and knocking on the door every Christmas day and offering a random shot. Some of the names of the shots I won't be able to mention on this video, some very unusual ones. Alan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man, good, all good.
Right, so the basis of this video is not a positive one. That's why I tried to start a little bit more positive. Everything has been great supporting Newcastle. How long have you supported Newcastle?
Well, I'm 60 now, so 50 odd years.
50 years. So you could tell a million more stories than I could. You've seen highs, you've seen lows, you've seen the change in stadiums, the change in you name it.
Yeah, definitely.
And what are some of your standout moments across that time? Putting you on the spot there already.
No, it's got to be Tino when he put the 3 past Barcelona. That was just immense. Even though I wasn't at the game, because obviously ex-Navy, I was away all the time living in Plymouth.
Right.
But just watching it and ecstatic, the lads in the pub were just gone mental.
Just out of curiosity, just on that one, I'm already getting off topic, but I always do this. How does that one compare to watching the PSG game? Because some people have compared those two.
Nah, it's still Barcelona for me.
Because that was a bit more random, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. We weren't expected to beat them. Well, same with PSG, we weren't expected to beat them. Well, draw, yeah. But Barcelona were expecting to get a rout off them, but nah.
Right, okay.
Just the way they came together and just that Tino doing these backflips and just still shivers do me spine now. You know.
It is a little bit cool, but there you go. That's what Tino does.
Brilliant to watch, like.
Yeah, so you've obviously so you work away and then you come back, and when you come back, you've obviously always gone to matches. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I've only been up here 10 years now. So before that, I lived in Plymouth for 30 odd years with the Navy, and we used to travel up weekends in a minibus, back of a van, car, watch the matches.
Anywhere possible.
Yeah, fly if there was a flight out. Just to get up and watch.
That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do. Yeah. So obviously the membership has always benefited you, because you have that all year. Yeah. You don't always want to go to the matches, but when you come back and you're home for an extended amount of time, you can apply for the tickets time after time after time. Is that right?
Yeah,
And how long have you had a membership?
Well, since I moved up here 2014, I've had this membership, but before that we had our own supporters club in Plymouth, Southwest Official Toon Army, and we had our own little cards, everything.
Southwest, does that still exist?
No.
I was going to say, right? I would have said someone shout us out, if not that anyone would be watching.
Probably
this,
one of the lads will. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention no names. I know there's a couple that will be like, you know.
Right.
But yeah, but before that, like I said, it was Official Toon Army. We got tickets. Like I said, minibus was up. Everything, but obviously when we working away again, it's getting tickets. Last season, the seasons before, didn't have a problem.
Right.
Yeah. So, we went into the queuing system. Fair enough, I agreed with that. Yeah. But this new one.
Well, that's what we're going to get onto now. So obviously the success of the team more recently, it's been a dream, absolute dream. Everything from Champions League to Cup finals, to smashing teams at home, to having ambition, to spending money. But for you, would I be right in thinking it's bittersweet?
Yeah.
And just give me a bit more. And everyone watching this, based off what I've started this video with, will know exactly what I mean by that and why. But go on, tell us why.
Well, this new system, I mean, I've supported, not just me, but there's lots of other people as well supported the club. We didn't feel it was right to get a season ticket because we couldn't get every game because of our jobs, and when we couldn't job as well. To me, it wasn't right getting a season ticket because we're depriving somebody of actually who can go to every single game. So we used to apply for the tickets, but this new system, I've applied for 7 tickets, and colleagues as well who I work with, they're applying for them, and we're just getting nothing. Yeah, you read on various posts that people who have only recently started supporting Newcastle again are getting to 5-6 games.
Yeah.
And you think, why am I bothering?
And just to add a bit of context to anyone watching this, because I know some people, I don't have many subscribers. I love every single one of you that does subscribe. Some of them support from America and stuff. So just to give a bit of rundown, what Alan's talking about there is it's been moved over to a ballot. So you enter a ballot and it is randomly selected. So your membership, despite being a member from 2014, as you said,
2000
and longer,
before that,
is exactly the same as someone like you said who's maybe taken a recent interest in Newcastle or just started supporting them. Is exactly the same. It's a level playing field, despite you having that loyalty and doing let's say 7, 8, 9 home games a season, roughly, when you're working away and home, roughly somewhere thereabouts. And that's where the frustration comes from. So it's a ballot system and it's randomly selected. And would I be right in thinking, you're talking about someone there getting to 6 matches who's just started supporting the club. You're not angry with them necessarily because it's randomly selected, so they're like lucky, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah. But you feel, and I'll use the word again, maybe not quite a swear word, feeling shat on. I won't you put an I in there, but I will apologise for the French anyway. Because you've been going year after year through some awful times. We know we don't need to talk about the man who shall not be named, Mr. Mike. And that's just not being rewarded in any way, shape or form. And now you're being outdone for tickets by someone who wakes up tomorrow, thinks, I like the look of that shirt, I like Alexander Isak, Bruno looks like a baller, I'm going to support Newcastle, I want to become a member, they suddenly have exactly the same chance of getting a ticket as you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just doesn't seem to be nothing there. There's no reward. I mean, going up to Barnsley on a Wednesday night from Plymouth is not... It's a long way, but we've done it because that's what we wanted to do. You know, but this new balloting system, I mean, I know a lot of people give the tickets up, the season tickets up when Ashley took over. There was a hell of a lot. Give the tickets up. And I think they're now recently thinking, oh, I want to go back now. So they buy a membership, 37 quid, and they're getting tickets again. And you're like, is there something not... Am I missing something here? I know it's a ballot system. How do they actually generate the tickets? Or how do they say, okay, you've won, you've won, you've won, you've won?
It must be right, but I know people who've only missed one match all season. That includes Champions League. So that's PSG, Dortmund, Cup, Carabao. I can't remember whether the Man City Carabao Cup game went to ballot or not. But that's a lot of matches.
I think it probably did. Yeah.
A lot of matches.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not having a go at them, but so just to run into the next part of this, where the club has gone with this. The reason I think, from what I hear about the ticket workshops that have happened, the reason the club's done this is because they think that by opening it up this way, the club will grow because revenue will increase, because the fan base will be able to come to matches who've just started supporting the club, getting a bigger interest in Newcastle, the city, the stadium, the merchandise, and we grow and grow. So people, and we've got an international ballot as well. So if you're coming all the way from, let's say, Saudi Arabia, which is a pretty good example, you can enter the international ballot, apply for a ticket, and you can never have been to a Newcastle match. You don't even need to know the name of our main striker, and you can apply, and you can fly over because you've got your ticket. That's so. What do you think, Alan, about if the owners were sat here and they said, "This is why we're doing that"? We understand people like you have been badly done by, but we have to do it to grow the club. What would you say to that?
Yeah, fair enough. Grow the club. Not a problem with that. Yeah, get it back to where we used to be when Bobby was in charge and Keegan and everybody else. Get it back to that fan base, but don't forget your home base fans. The loyalty that I've done, colleagues of mine have done over the years. Don't forget them. Just give them a little bit more incentive. Just give them a little bit of a peck of the pie, so to speak.
Sorry, I was just going to say, do you know what annoys me the most? Is because I think me as a season ticket holder is seen in such high regard than someone who's had a membership for years, and I think that's totally wrong, because in theory, genuinely, and I say this hand on heart, in theory, you could go to almost all 19 games in the past as a member. You could apply every week, every single match, the expensive ones, the naff ones against Luton Town at home, for example, but you could go to every one. So how are you any different to me? How come I get this loyalty point system? Because if we break it down to away matches, Alan, it's categorised. So PSG, if you've got 160, you get a ticket straight away. Then it goes to 140. So when the memberships were changed, how come they didn't look at who'd had a membership since 2014, like you, in the current way it is? I know you'd have one longer. They couldn't look at you and be like, right, let's put tickets to them members first. So you go in a smaller ballot, still a ballot, but a smaller ballot of loyal members. And then you go down. I think there's got to be a better way of doing it. I don't know what your thoughts on changing the system would be if they were going to keep a ballot in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Look at how many tickets you've bought. Not just from...
Yeah, exactly.
How many tickets you've bought. Yeah. I've got 75 tickets, what I've bought. But my membership only goes from 2018. The 5 years previous to that, there's nothing there. And I've been into the club and I've asked them about it, but they can't give me a direct answer.
Right.
Where's the rest of my memberships gone?
They just don't.
They just don't know. I've sent them emails, everything else, but they just don't know where it's gone. The lassie behind, she tried, but the lassie behind the counter said, "Oh, we can look at your ticket history and see how many tickets you've bought over the years." I said, "Well, surely that is an indication of how long I've been a member."
Yeah, exactly.
But I agree with what you're saying. Look at the fan base. Because I know there's still lads down at Plymouth and Portsmouth and that still come up on weekends. Hopefully they're going to get tickets.
Put the miles in, put some serious miles in.
Yeah, they're members as well.
And again, going back to season ticket holders, we get first priority on Champions League. So I got an email straight away saying, if you want all of your Champions League matches added on, £55 a ticket, and your cup games. So we get I get spoon-fed every single loyalty, every single opportunity, and every single perk, probably is the best word, for having me season ticket. Members who've gone year after year, and I spoke to 2 gentlemen in America. If you're watching this video, you might actually be. When I travelled to America, and I told you about this, Alan, a father and his son. The father was almost in tears because he was so excited about this new project, but he knew under the new ballot system that him and his son, who travel like you do when you're in Plymouth, he was never going to get to any games. He said between them they'd be lucky if they got to 3 or 4 a season. And away games, which everyone looks forward to so much, and that's a different topic for a different video with the ticketing system for that. That is, you can't pass them around anymore. No. I understand why they've done that, and the away thing's a different conversation. The atmosphere has been affected, I will admit that, but that is very much a different conversation. They were just as gutted as you are, and what's annoying for me is that someone like yourself, Alan, is sat here and we're talking about, oh, that was a great performance, that was a great performance. Everything is amazing for our football club now, but you probably feel, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not quite feeling as part of it and as excited to be amongst all of that as what you should, because you're never inside St James's Park, and you're home now till January. And you'd be lucky. I know you'll keep applying in the ballot, but you'd be very, very lucky to get any.
I think I've got more chance of nailing Blancmange to the ceiling.
He's already tried slipping me a bit of money in my back pocket for my season ticket. He shook my hand when I first came back home, and there was a 50. But yeah, would I be right in saying that? It's just it's tainted it.
Yeah, it has.
I just think loyalty should be rewarded. So my last one on this, because none of us have the solution. Like we do have answers on how we could improve it. Like I said, my category system, I think for members, they should have had a way of figuring it out by looking at how many tickets on your account that you've purchased over the years. If, in a parallel universe, Mayor, Dad and Amanda was sat in this lovely garden, having a glass of wine or whatever they drink, what would you say to them about what you feel supporting Newcastle with the changes? And it's Peter Silverstone, I think, as well. It's Darren Eales. I think it's maybe Mayor, Dad and Amanda have never had a say in this. I don't know. I've got no idea on that. What would you say to them politely if they sat to you and said, Alan, sounds like you've been a fan for years. How's supporting Newcastle since we've come in?
Oh, just to, again, going back to the 90s, you know, Bobby Keegan, it was just amazing. And the current squad, that's the way they're playing at the moment, and the structure they've got behind them, the care that's there with them, it's just phenomenal. It's brilliant to see. It's fantastic to see. We've got our club back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've definitely got our club back from beforehand.
But this is interesting, though. But have you lost a bit of yours with how they changed things? So it's interesting you use that statement that we've all used. We've got our club back. That's what we've always dreamt of. But do you and thousands of other members who are being shat on in this system, because now you're struggling to get a ticket in this random lottery of a ballot, do you feel like you've lost a bit that you had, dare I even say, before the owners, when you were able to get tickets in a more structured system and you were going every time you came home?
Yeah, we do feel a bit lost on it, you know what I mean? Feel totally forgetting. It's like, okay, we've got your money. Like, person that shouldn't be mentioned, he was the same. That's the way it seemed to me at the moment, is that, yeah, okay, we've got your money. Yeah, you remember for a year, ballot, put in for this ballot, and you do it. And you sit there, excitement. It's like a kid at Christmas. On that Friday, to see if you've got that ticket. The first thing I'm saying to the wife is any money taken out my bank account? Is there any money? Is there any money?
Yeah,
is anything pending?
It is like Christmas,
it is, yeah. And I used to love it because I used to love ringing up or getting on the internet and saying, okay, trying to book a ticket for an upcoming game. When you were approved of that ticket and the money come out your bank account, it was just ecstatic. Yeah, even when I was away, the wife was actually booking tickets for us for when I was home, or trying to get tickets for us. She still does it now, but it's
applying, isn't it? And
it's disheartening, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna wrap this one up there, because that line, we've got our club backs, but some fans have maybe lost a little bit. That resonates with me a little bit. That isn't. Can I just clarify? That wasn't scripted.
No.
Nothing on this video is scripted. That's come together quite nicely, that one. But it sums things up well. And all I'm going to say is, yes, I will acknowledge, as some people might say in the comments, the club are constantly having ticketing workshops. Whether that's with the right people, in my opinion, I don't think a ticketing workshop should be with season ticket holders. I don't. It should be people like you. There's no point me being in a ticketing workshop who can say these things, But if you've sat in front of people who are directly negatively affected, their loyalty's been I'm going to keep saying it, shat on. That's the theme of this video. Use are the people that should be there. I'm going to wrap that up on Newcastle fans. Alan, thank you very much for talking to me. Always a pleasure. Please let me know in the comments, because this is an interesting debate, and this is a debate, if it stays as it is, that's going to keep rolling on. Let me know in the comments whether you can relate to any of this, whether you disagree, because I love a good disagreement in the comments. I do. So let me know in the comments if anyone disagrees with what me and Alan are saying. And as always, give us a little likey loo. And what other button should they hit, Alan? The like and the
follow.
We'll say subscribe, but he knew what I meant. Thank you very much for watching, Newcastle fans, and I hope this video, a little bit more serious than I normally do, hits the spot with what a lot of people should be talking about maybe a little bit more. I'll see you on the next one. How are you, lads?